Hi guys, I'm doing this video because I actually saw an influx of people asking about is this the right time to buy an EV, right? So to clarify, I'm actually driving a BYD, right? But this video is nothing to do about just BYD. I'm talking about EV in general. Yeah, the war in the Middle East actually is pushing up the price of oil. But in my opinion, it's not just that. It might even cause a oil shortage. Because think about it, the whole entire world, 30% of the oil actually comes from the Middle East. And if those got blown up, the whole world is lack of 30% of oil. And if you look around us when you're driving, most cars are actually using fuel. But in my opinion, fuel is not really that important. The most important thing is fertilizers. Fertilizers also is a byproduct from processing the oil, and if there's no fertilizer, meaning we will have a food shortage. So we might end up in a time where we have to choose either to refuel our cars or eat. And obviously I think eat is more important than cars, because if you don't eat, you die. So of course food is more important. But the question now back to EVs. Should you buy EV? In my opinion, yes and no. If you are already in a market to buy a new car, then please do your try to consider an EV as much as you can. Especially if you are living at home. Even if you are rented, try to get your home your landlord to approve a home charger. And if you're staying in a condo, try to get a condo to install a charger. And if everything fails, you could also still try to use public chargers, but it's just slightly tedious, right? But at least you still have a car to drive around. And so for me, I actually just recently installed a solar panel in my house, so it's slightly more convenient and slightly cheaper for me. And second thing is that don't buy a car because of the fuel price. You don't go panic buying an EV, because an EV is a big investment. Even though for an EMAS 5 is 80k, or Wuling Bingo is around, I think, 50k. So it's not really a small sum of money. But if you are already in a market to buy a car, as for me, I bought this BYD Seal last year because my Honda Civic FD hybrid is actually really old. I actually own it for around 16-17 years, so it's time for me to change. So that's why I bought a BYD Seal. So basically my timing is just right. But for you guys that may be planning to change your car this year, then yes, please do consider an EV. But if let's say you just bought a car last year and stuff like that, don't go throwing the car and change to another car, because a commitment for another car loan is not really I don't really advise it unless you are filthy rich. Then of course go ahead, right? Yeah, now let's talk about the war. Why I actually advise you guys to buy an EV is because that I don't see the war ending anytime soon. Mainly because we are dealing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an egoistic person, and I don't think he would admit defeat per se and withdraw from the Middle East. And then as for Iran, they are basically kicking their butts. Basically they are making America's life really miserable, because America is shooting $2 million missiles, Patriot missiles, on 5,000-6,000 Shahid drone and stuff like that. So it's not really feasible for America to stay there long. But if it prolongs, it might even lead to nuclear war. So I don't really see it ending anytime soon. And as for Iran, their demand is US to pull out all their bases from the Middle East. So I don't think the US will do it, because if they do it, then all of US allies will be lack of confidence of the US, and like Philippines, Japan, South Korea, and some other countries, right? So I somehow don't think that Trump will do it. And if the war escalates, then Straits of Hormuz are going to be closed again, and yeah, fuel shortage is a real thing, right? And even let's say if the war ends today, of course the best, of course, if it can end today, then yeah, things won't go back to normal really soon. You know why? Because the oil actually spiked recently also is mainly because a few of the oil rigs or oil I think some oil fields and storage tanks in the Middle East was hit, and according to the company that is the owner of the companies actually said that to rebuild and make it up in operational is going to take around 3 to 5 years. So you are going to see shortage of oil slightly for 3 to 5 years, and that is if the war doesn't escalate. If the war escalates even further, then yeah, it's going to be bad, and all the damage is going to take a long time to repair, and it's not really a good sign for the world. So if you have a choice, and if your life is privileged enough to own an EV, then please go ahead, buy an EV. Don't go and buy some petrol car anymore. If you can, of course. Yeah, it's better for you to keep your ICE car if it's still new and it's fuel efficient. Then it's good to keep it first, because to get yourself into a new loan and stuff like that is really stressful. And due to this conflict, everything will go up: electricity, fuel, food, basically anything, clothes, even electronics also got issue because they need I think some kind of gas, I think helium or something, to create the microchips. So chip also might be shortage. So it's actually, yeah, it's a big problem. Keep your ICE cars if it's still quite new and you're not planning to change anytime soon, right? But what you guys can do is actually change your driving habit. Previously, when I drove my Honda Civic Hybrid, back then I was quite young, I was around 20s, so I was quite, an impatient person. I keep tailgate people and stuff, all those lala zai kind of person, right? So when I drive like that, I actually got around 450 kilometers per tank. And then when I reaching towards my 30s, I actually more calm, and then I drove very, I would say slowly, or hyper miling kind of driving. And to my surprise, I got around 600 kilometers on a full tank. Right? Of course, the road is the same, but of course the traffic and stuff like that is really hard to say. But this is basically the data that I got. So just by changing your habit, you can get around, as for me, I got it 150 kilometers extra. So if for you guys, maybe you guys might get 50 kilometers extra. It's actually quite good, right? It's really 1 day trip to work, free. So just try to change your habits. Stop tailgating people. Brake smoothly, accelerate smoothly. No point to floor the pedal because traffic lights in front, traffic's in front. You speed up here, at the end you still have to wait in front, so there's no difference personally. So try to drive smoothly, and you guys could save more money by then. Don't really need to buy an EV if you guys don't need. Okay, so that's about it. If you guys have any questions, put it down on the link below, on the description below, and yeah, I'll try my best to answer you guys. Alright, stay safe, take care, bye.